You're tuning into the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, the only wrestling podcast covering WWE, AEW, and TNA. Let's get uncooked, uncorked, and uncensored.
What's up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity.
I'm here too.
Joined by my hot commodity who's eating a piece of fork as we speak.
I'm a fat
It's
ass.
turning me on a little bit, I guess. You're not here to hear about our love life. You're here to hear us talk about WWE and AAA.
You don't know that.
We don't know that. Maybe you are. But I'm here to talk about WWE and AAA's Worlds Collide 2025 show in Los Angeles, California. It was live on YouTube, so it's pretty much free for everybody to watch. Conan was on commentary throughout the night, and he's a WCW legend, AAA legend, huge Mexican wrestler, although he didn't do anything in WWE, so, except for make appearances here and there, like, during this time. But I wasn't really looking forward to this so much, because I don't really know much about the AAA wrestlers, but I will say this is a really good show, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Definitely better than we thought.
100%. So, kicking off the night, Rey Mysterio comes out and he talks about AAA and Lucha Libre, the history of it, and it was good to see Rey Mysterio back. And Rey Mysterio, I think if I'm correct, competed at the first AAA event, as did Eddie Guerrero and other famous Mexican
The first
athletes.
Worlds Collide.
The first Worlds Collide, yes, that's right now. So, interesting tidbit
Which
there.
was 31 years ago to the day or something.
Yeah. Yes, that means they were born in 94. It was 94, because I'll be 32 this year. Our first match, we have a 6-man tag match, which is kicking us off. LWO, which is Dragon Lee, Lince Dorado, and Cruz del Toro, taking on Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. And the fans, everybody is loving this Mr. Iguana.
And a little news flash. Starting today, WWE is selling his merch.
Well,
so he's going to be making a
I have a news flash for you. Ooh.
Talk about
I
it.
just smiled at you too when I said it. I actually like Brian Wall. He's going to be on SmackDown on Friday. So
Okay.
So he made a big impression. And I thought he reminded me a lot of Goldust in a different way. The sort of the way he did his makeup.
Okay.
But
I could definitely see
he
that.
definitely stood out of all of the 3 AAA guys that competed in that team.
He's definitely going to be like a face for kids, like Triple H. I was watching the post show of Money in the Bank today. Like, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I was flipping through, and Triple H is like, all WWE fans that are little are going to be wanting iguanas everywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Probably. So before the match gets started, we see Intercontinental Champion Dominik Mysterio. I pause there, Dominik Mysterio, and the Women's Tag Team Champion Liv Morgan. They're in the crowd for this match.
greatest Intercontinental champion of all time.
That's what he claims. AAA men dive onto LWO on the floor. We see moments where Mr. Iguana he calls it La Esca. I don't know. It means iguana, I think. There's a moment where Lince Dorado yells at sort of like,
Alexa, how do you say iguana in Spanish?
let's see.
Iguana in Spanish is iguana.
Well, that's not what it is.
Well,
I think that's her name. Whatever. So,
whatever.
Lince does the weird thing where he starts attacking the iguana. La Esca, that's what he calls it. LWO triple kick Mr. Iguana and then land a double stomp. Aerostar lands a springboard dive onto Dragon Lee on the floor. And then Octagon Jr. lands a super spinning fallaway slam to Lince Dorado for a 3 count. Octagon Jr., Mr. Iguana.
Yesa. Y-E-S-C-A. Yesa.
No, they're saying it wrong on there.
Oh, okay.
But you gotta remember, Y is not
Yeah, it's like J.
Laesa. I don't know what else.
Anyway.
Octagon hits a super spinning fallaway slam. The AAA guys get the win. After the match, Intercontinental Champion Dominik Mysterio gets on the mic and trashes his father, Rey. And then Octagon gets in Dominik's face, the 2 brawl. And then Dominik challenges him to a match at Money in the Bank for the Intercontinental title. It's interesting because the fans were behind Mr. Iguana. It should have been him, I think, to fight Dominik, but I don't think they thought the fans were going to be behind him that much. They probably assumed it was going to be Aerostar, but they were very surprised here. What'd you think of this match, though?
Yeah, it was definitely a cool match. Like, it was like the definition of lucha libre, and it was really good.
This show kind of gave me like the ECW One Night Stand from 2005 vibe. It was very like underground. It wasn't very like the product value wasn't huge.
Well, I learned today that Triple H had nothing to do with any of the storylines or outcomes. That he let the writer of AAA do everything.
Well, makes sense. It was very different. We then go to the crowd. We see the current women's champions in WWE, Io Sky and Tiffany Stratton at ringside for the next tag match we've got up here. Dalise and Chica Tormenta. You like my little Hispanic voice I did?
It's adorable.
Taking on Lola Vice and Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie lands a 619 to Chica. Lola hits a kick and gets a 2 count. Dalise hits a sit-out power bomb to Lola Vice for a 2 count. And then Chica Tormenta hits a power slam to Lola for a 2. The ladies land, this is a cool moment, a devil's kiss, which Booker T would have been freaking out. That was a cool moment to see those two ladies do that. Stephanie hits eat defeat to Dalise.
Booker T would have stained his pants.
He sure would have. And then Stephanie lands the SVB and gets the win here. Decent tag match. We kind of knew Stephanie and Lola were going to win because no one knows these two chicks, Dalise and Chica Tormenta. They were good, but, you know, compare Stephanie and Lola Vice, nah. And I know Dalise worked with Stephanie in other promotions, so they had history there, but...
Yeah.
The Chica Tormenta lady looked cool. She had like the cool, I think they said that she had a mask versus mask match. She had to take her mask off. And it looked as if her like.
Well, she lost her match.
But it looked like there was like a broken piece of a mask that was like on her, which I thought was kind of cool on her face. Yeah. But what'd you think?
Yeah, and that seems to be like a big thing in their storylines that they can like kind of fight for the masks. So that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And it was a good match. It was, but. You know, I agree. Like, it was obvious that Stephanie was going to win. I'm done.
I like, there's a funny meme or video where someone's like, I don't know, you know what it is? I think it's Roseanne, where they're like, Roseanne's like, I have nothing. They're taking the video from the wedding. She's like, I have nothing else to say. I'm done. I love. We have to watch that one. That one reminds me of my mom. Yeah, we have to watch. Or is that when they win? No, it's like when it's old. No, it's before they win the lotto. They're the wedding. Someone gets married. I think it's Crystal. I think Crystal gets married to Dan's father, and at the wedding, they're like talking about everyone saying they're like, "Oh, congratulations!" And they have the camera on Roseanne. She's like, "Oh, I wish you all the best." And then they're like, they said, she's like, "You know, I think you're gonna have a great wedding." Yeah, and that's it. And she's smiling. I have nothing else to say. She's still smiling. That was like me. Anyways, a little tangent we went on. Next, we have Legado del Fantasma taking on the team of Psycho Clown, Pagano, and El Hijo Dr. Wagner. Interesting. Psycho Clown hits a double German suplex to Angel Umberto for a 2 count. Psycho Clown dives through the ropes onto Santos Escobar, landing on the announce desk. Pagano lands a blockbuster. Santos, who is this? Joaquin, who is? Oh, Dr. Wagner. I'm like, who is DW? Dr. Wagner hits a Falcon Arrow to Santos for a 2. Psycho Clown hits a Psycho Driver to Berto on the apron, and the end comes when Berto spears Psycho through the railing, and Santos hits a Phantom Driver. I'm fucking up all here. For a 3, Legado del Fantasma get the win, and I'm done talking. What you think? I didn't care about this one much.
Yeah, me either, but I kind of felt like Santos kind of needed this one to bring guys back together because they were having a thing. So, and I hadn't really heard it on the other guys, so I think his group definitely needed the win, and I have nothing else to say.
Okay. We see Savio Vega and Damian Priest in the crowd.
I love Savio Vega. I used to like him a lot, like in the early 90s.
He's very cool. Next, we have the NXT North American Championship on the line. Javon Evans versus Ray Phoenix versus Laredo Kid versus the NXT North American Champion All Ego Ethan Page. Laredo Kid hits a spinning DDT or was that Laredo Kid or was it Lindsay Dorado?
Oh, I don't remember. I didn't know anybody.
All right, well, Evans dives onto everyone on the floor, lands a twisting kick to Ray Phoenix and the red dot. Javon Evans lands a springboard cutter to Ray Phoenix, and then Ethan Page breaks it up. Ethan Page gets the win after an ego's edge and a twisted grin to Ray Phoenix here. And I was surprised. I thought that they were going to maybe let Ray, or I think that is Laredo Kid. That's not Lindsay Dorado. Dorado was out earlier on. But I like Ethan Page. I think he's a good wrestler.
Was Dragon Lee in this one?
No, Dragon Lee was in the other match.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm surprised. I thought maybe Javon Evans would get it, and they would have like a title change on here, but no. Definitely not.
Well, our main event, the AAA Mega Championship, Chad Gable taking on the champion El Hijo del Vikingo, and I think he's just going by Vikingo now, so that's what we're going to refer to him as. Vikingo lands a missile drop kick and hits a 630 to the back of Chad Gable on the floor. That was a crazy maneuver there. What a maneuver, as Vince McMahon would have said. Chad Gable jumps into a co-breaker, and then Vikingo hits a coast-to-coast to Gable for a 2. Chad Gable hits a Razor's Edge for a 2. Vikingo hits a Super Mexican Destroyer across the apron. Chad Gable then sets up Vikingo on a table on the floor and hits a moonsault through the table, but Vikingo hits double knees in the corner and a 630 splash, and Vikingo retains a AAA Mega Championship, defeating Chad Gable here. What'd you think?
I thought it was a really good match. Chad Gable did really good. The other guy was cool. I didn't really think Chad Gable was going to win, but he was definitely a good partner for him. And it was funny because Triple H was like talking about this in the pre-show, and he was like talking about people who had to fight 2 or 3 times these days, and he's like, yeah, Chad Gable had his match, and he didn't qualify for King of the Ring, but it's a good thing his good friend El Grande Americano did. So he was trying to play it up.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. I hope we find out soon who's under that mask. But
I feel like at some point they're going to demask him and it's going to be somebody else. But obviously it's Chad Gable right now.
So my question for you before we end this is, what did you think of the first ever partnership show of WWE and AAA? Do you think they should do another one?
Yeah, I think it should be like a yearly thing.
Yearly thing. Yeah, but then how are you going to see the talent? You're going to want to, you're going to want
to watch AAA.
There you go. Well, look at the way you said that, and then put up your what are those called? Wrinkles? Oh, you're sexy. Well, we've covered all of AAA, WWE Worlds Collide.
I mean, it's the same thing with TNA and New Japan and all that.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, but AEW does that. This is WWE. They tend to fucking...
That's why I'm saying. They're not going to do it all the time, but a yearly event would be really cool.
I think you're really cool. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on YouTube. What did you think? Do you think this was a good show? Should they keep doing this? Who was your breakout star? If you didn't know one of the AAA wrestlers, who did you enjoy? I did like Mr. Iguana. I can see the hype around him. He's very cool. He's interesting. He's different. And yeah, I can see why the kids would like him. It's cool. And like anyone could get a little iguana, a little stuffed animal at a store or anything. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's like it's easy for people to... I like that. And I think it's cool that we were able to witness that, too. Someone kind of rise up from out of nowhere. I mean, not from out of nowhere. He has a good career in AAA, but in terms of the States.
Yeah, who knows, if he's big enough.
Yeah, he's going to be on SmackDown this
Friday. He'll be on the WWE roster in no time.
Well, he is. He's going to be on SmackDown. Like, they signed him. Like, he's going to be on SmackDown.
I thought he was just making an appearance.
I don't know if it's an appearance, but it seems like, if he's going to be on SmackDown. But Follow us on YouTube, subscribe, hit the like button, and if you like this episode, and the notification bell to stay notified when new content comes out. We're dropping new Attitude Years episodes all the time. We've got After the Bell SmackDown recaps, AEW pay-per-view recaps, TNA recaps, much more coming your way. You can also check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and wherever
your podcasts are sold.
Well, it's free.
Yeah, well,
There you go. You don't have to buy anything, people, but you get the point.
I get it.
You get it. With that,
I
stay
got it.
safe and stay uncensored.